Anybody have a quick question for Dr. Woteki? We've got one. We've got several. You got to go to the mic.
There, it's on.
It's on.
Good morning, Dr. Woteki. You talked a lot in your comments about the importance of working together. There are many agencies within the USDA that could impact the resistance management, and you talked about some of those as well in your comments. From your perspective, what is the best way that your agency can facilitate and work together with these individual departments to make sure that all the important aspects of resistance management are touched upon? And more importantly, how can we minimize or avoid maybe conflicting programs?
Really good question, because you're right. This issue of management from the regulatory and from the programmatic aspects, as well as from the development of the new technologies in the education, cuts across a lot of different agencies within the department, and also goes beyond the department. Within USDA, we do have a very effective mechanism for pulling together multi-agency coordination groups. And my expectation is that we will be doing so in follow-up to these meetings. These coordination groups, one of the most recent ones that we formed is on pollinator health. And it has enabled us to coordinate activities, again, on a similar topic that cuts across many different agencies within the department. All of our plans, our actions, and to provide a forum so that people are maintaining good communication and we know what's going on across the department. So my expectation is we would be forming a similar multi-agency coordinating committee, and that our Office of Pesticide Management and Policy that Cheryl is responsible for would be playing a key role in staffing that activity. And once we establish that type of coordination committee within the department, it then makes it much easier for us at a policy level to have discussions with other departments and other agencies within the government. And as is the case with the Pollinator Health Initiative, EPA is a key partner in this. EPA has been a key partner in this summit meeting, and our expectations is we would continue that close coordination.
Thank you, Dr. Woteki. We would ask, I think we got time for maybe one more question. We're running a little short. So if you would identify yourself and your affiliation.
Yeah, Dr. Phil Wester at Colorado State University, where we deal with kochia, a new emerging problem. But I was recently in Argentina, where they're facing Palmer amaranth issues similar to ours. And my question is, what can the agency do to coordinate or to help in looking at this issue at more of a global level?
Mm-hmm. That's also a good challenge to us. We have a number of ways that we can engage with other countries. One is through the regular bilateral meetings that we have with many different countries. Argentina is one, in which the agendas are managed at the secretarial level, and the focus is usually joint problems. Now, a lot of it is focused around trade, as you would expect, and sanitary and phytosanitary issues related to trade. But where we have a mutual problem, and in which there is opportunity to share from our research and from our best practices approach, those bilateral meetings can be effective. For the last 3 years, I have been representing the United States with the G20 countries, where Argentina is a member, along with China, Brazil, India, the G8 countries are represented, and also Australia. So there, you know, it's a broad membership of developed and developing countries. And we have established a meeting of the agricultural chief scientists that has been, for the last 3 years, meeting. Our most recent meeting was in June in Australia under the Australian presidency. We've been using that meeting to focus on establishment of what we've called global collaboration platforms to facilitate research, focusing on open data, open access to publications that are the result of the government investment, open access to germplasm. But if there is a problem of sufficient global interest, that as well is a place where we can coordinate the research efforts, you know, the research and education activities. So there are also, you know, through our work with FAO and through the Agency for International Development, also opportunities to work either in bilateral or in multilateral engagements with other countries. So there are a variety of different ways to approach the international aspects to this. And that might also be something that if the focus is beyond our national action plan to an international one that be interested to hear how this group would see doing that engagement, and within the bilateral to multilateral context, what would be the appropriate organizations to include.
Dr. Woteki, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come be with us. Good to see you. To move on with the program, the first presentation is the current state challenges and accomplishments in weed resistance management. Dr. David Shaw, who's Vice President of Research and Economic Development at Mississippi State University and Chair of the WSSA Herbicide Resistance Committee, to make that presentation. David.